I quit my machine learning model app after I messed up all of my code. So here's what I've learned. Because you see, back then I did not know actually that much about machine learning. So naturally I went over to the most reliable, beautiful source that I knew at the time, ChatGPT. And of course, this is probably very obvious to you that you shouldn't do this, but I did it. I tried to learn machine learning off of ChatGPT. And it was very bad. Our AI overlords unfortunately did not know much about AI themselves. It was so bad, there were so many like contradicting answers. I would ask it, okay, how do we implement a transformer layer, for example, for anybody who understands machine learning? And then it would give me a result, and I would look at that, and then I would start a new chat with it, feed it the same code that it gave me, and ask it, okay, is this correct? And it would be like, no, that's not correct. This is the correct version. And it's a different version of the code. And I had to double check it constantly over and over. Of course, ChatGPT back then when I was doing it was not actually that good. But regardless, even today, it's still slop. Maybe very obvious for you to hear, but at least to me, that was not obvious at all. So in order to deal with the AI slop that was being fed to me, and in order to understand how machine learning actually works, started reading actual research papers, like The Curious Case of Neural Text Degeneration, or The Attention is All You Need paper, with these nerdy terms like mathematics, probability, like all this stuff, right? And that is when I actually started to understand more about machine learning. It was of course hard to understand some of the math concepts, but I kind of taught myself the math as well. If you think this is boring work, just stick to like training existing LLMs or using AI APIs, little bro. You're not built for the research papers, for the math. The next thing is quite a particular lesson, which some sadder individuals might have experienced, like myself. You see, I eventually built this model, and on my own computer, I would get what's called OM errors. These are like out of memory errors. And so to solve this, I was like, maybe my computer is just not strong enough. Okay, maybe I'll go to Google Cloud for free, completely free, or at least for a low price that I can handle. Okay, so I put up the code, run the code, and for some reason it's not working. It's like either crashing or the computer is unavailable. Anyway, okay, whatever. I'm not going to use Google Cloud Compute. I'm going to find a different service. And then 2 months later, I see a little email saying, hey, you need to pay. I'm like, what? I maximum would have used like a server computer for like 2 minutes. There's no way they would have priced that. It's priced like 0.001 per hour. There's no way there could be anything to charge, right? And I look, there's $200. There's a charge of $200 in my account. And I'm like, what the hell? And turns out I left the computer instance working for 2 months. So the hours was being realized very much, and I had to sort all of that out. And so there's a goofy but important lesson to myself. Don't trust these companies, or at least the pricing. I switched to Kaggle. It's still a Google service, but it had like free GPUs and TPUs that were much better than whatever Google Cloud was offering. And I can imagine how much better it would be if I paid as well. It's not sponsored by Kaggle, but I'm just saying. Anyway, the juice of the reason why I quit is because I had my code messed up. Now, I'll be honest, even using Kaggle didn't really help. While it would handle my code much better, it still didn't work. It still crashed from the very same reason of out of memory errors. And it was because I had the wrong code. For those who understand machine learning, I essentially made the model predict each and every token up until the end of the sequence and then check it with an optimizer, rather than just generating one token and then comparing it to the ground truth token immediately with the optimizer. And so this whole sequence had to be compared with the optimizer, and that's way more compute volume, which cost it way more memory and a lot of crashes. And that's not generally how you train AI models anyway. So essentially what I did, for those who don't understand, is I overheated the computers. It took me a very long time to understand what actually the problem was, but when I had already understood it, I had already decided to move on from the project anyway. Nonetheless, bro, building ML applications is pretty hard. I know you want to like build the next ChatGPT or something. You're probably thinking of that. You might make a goofy mistake in your code. I mean, if somebody as smart as me could get it wrong, you definitely can get it wrong. It just shows how difficult machine learning is. Hopefully that short rant was helpful, even if slightly. If you don't want to quit your app idea like I did though, and you want to complete it, Celery I can help you achieve just that in under a month. So go sign up for early access, link is in the description.